G'day guys, Lee from Technical Training here. Today we're going to have a look at performing an EWP rescue in the scenario where you're caught up a pole or a loft and you need to get the machine down. Today we're going to be performing it on the Leguan, but one thing that is very important is that you understand the controls for the machine that you're using at the time. Know how to use those emergency controls to get your mate down from an emergency situation. As with all emergency response, our first priority is looking after our own safety. So we're going to assess for danger, making sure we're not going to get hurt by performing the rescue. When using a non-insulated bucket, one major hazard is coming into contact with live mains. So make sure you check for that. If there is contact made, you may need to de-energize the mains before you attempt a rescue. So now we need to get the person down to the ground as quickly and effectively as possible to continue our rescue. The quickest way, if the machine is still operable, is to use ground controls. Be aware that a lot of EWPs do have a switch to change from basket to ground controls, so if you are going to use the ground controls, make sure you switch it to the appropriate position. So holding the dead man switch, we're just going to use base controls to bring the person down. If that doesn't work, we've got a second option of bleeding the booms down. The bleed down for the Leguan is nice and simple. Press the buttons and it'll release the pressure. If you do need to slew the boom of the Leguan, turn this dial here, which will free up the boom to slew. Once we've got the guy down to the ground, make sure you disconnect the lanyard attached to the harness and make sure any limbs that are out are free so they're not going to catch as you're dragging the person out. Also be aware that some buckets will have a tilt function, allowing the bucket to tilt for an easier rescue. Once you've got them out of the basket, start your doctor's ABCD, providing first aid. Hey Wazza, you right mate? Hey Wazza. Boys, just give us a hand. Yeah, go. Okay, just watch that ledge. Someone get his legs. Yeah. Oh, someone call an ambulance. Okay guys, so for a quick recap, first thing, know your equipment. Be confident that you can control that basket down in the case of an emergency. Secondly, check for danger. Make sure that you're not going to get hurt by providing a rescue. Use the most appropriate controls, whether that's the base controls or the bleed down valves, to get that person down to the ground. Remove them from the basket, not to forget the lanyard, and commence CPR, first aid, and don't forget to call for an ambulance.